Hello students, I am Dr. Himanshu Kanpal, Assistant Professor English, Government MS College for Women, Bikaner. Today we are going to study the analysis of the poem My Vocation written by Toru Dutt. Toru Dutt is one of the many literary gifts of Bengal to India and especially to the Indian writing in English. She was born in 1856 at Calcutta. When Toru was 6 years old, her family was converted to Christianity. At the age of 12, Toru went abroad to France and England with the family for getting education. After a gap of 4 years, they returned and settled down in the ancestral house at Calcutta. Toru had acquired a good knowledge of French. In fact, she has already written some poems in the French language before he attempted to write in English. Her works include A Sheaf Gleaned in French Fields, a translation of French writers, and Ancient Ballads and Legends of Hindustan, which has her famous narrative poem entitled Savitri. Toru Dutt died early and her output is small. Nevertheless, she has left an indelible stamp on the hearts of the readers in India as well as abroad. So, today we are going to study the poem My Vocation. The poem My Vocation is from Toru Dutt's A Sheaf Gleaned in French Fields and is a translation of a Pierre Jean de Berenger poem. It describes an individual who has been mistreated greatly by both fate and other people, but who also finds comfort and inspiration in the work of a singer, a figure who is often used in literature as a representative of the poet. Though the best years of the speaker's youth are long gone, and though the speaker is without love, the speaker finds something like beauty and love in the task of creating song and poetry. Each stanza, except the last, ends with the refrain Sing, said God in reply. Chant, poor little thing. This refrain emphasizes the divine nature of poet's work and its outwardly importance when contrasted with things like wealth and power. By the poem's end, the speaker asserts a lack of desire for any kind of physical compensation, and the refrain mentioning God is changed to read Still, still comes that reply. Chant, poor little thing. This final refrain emphasizes instead the ongoing nature and constancy of the poet's labor. Now we move on to the analysis of the poem. We begin with the first stanza of the poem. A waif on this earth, sick, ugly, and small. Waif means a homeless, neglected person, especially a child. A waif on this earth, sick, ugly, and small. Contempt from my birth. Contempt means to value a little. And rejected by all. From my lips broke, where shall I fly? Who comfort will bring? Sing, said God in reply. Chant, poor little thing. The poem is written in 5 stanzas of 8 lines each, called octaves or octets. Each stanza introduces 4 lines of new alternating rhymes, followed by 4 more lines of alternating rhymes, 2 lines of which are new and 2 lines of which are part of a repeating refrain. The rhyme scheme is AB CD CD EF CD CD GH CD CD IJ CD CD KL CD CD, with the last 2 CD lines of each stanza constituting the refrain. What is a refrain? Refrain is a line or group of lines regularly repeated in a poem. So, this formal structure and rhyme scheme allows the poem to explore a different dimension of the speaker's life at length in each stanza. while still returning to the central idea that despite everything, the speaker feels a divine call to sing and create poetry. In the first stanza, a waif on this earth, sick, ugly, and small, contempt from my birth, and rejected by all, from my lips broke, where shall I fly? Who comfort will bring? Sing, said God in reply. Chant, poor little thing. In the first stanza, the speaker explores the moment of birth and links the cry that may accompany birth or subsequent sadness to a voice creating song or poetry. This moment supplies a literal link between the pain that is experienced by the speaker and the speaker's work at creating song, that is the sound of the voice crying out in the response to the world. In the second stanza, that is, life struck me with fright. Struck me means affected me with fright. Fright means an experience of fear that happens suddenly, full of chances and pain. So I hugged. Hugged means embraced with delight the drudge's heart chain. Drudges means a person who has to work hard at boring and unpleasant tasks. One must eat, yet I die, like a bird with clipped wing. Clipped means to cut off or removed. Sing, said God in reply. Chant, poor little thing. In the second stanza, this link is made figurative as wealth, personified as someone, which means in a carriage, drives by, and figuratively covers the speaker with dirt, perhaps by driving through a dirty puddle or something similar. Here, the speaker also reflects on their dismissal by the general public, even by the minions, a servile dependent who serve more powerful people, and their search for comfort that eventually ends with the divine calling to write poetry. A similar arc is traced in the third and fourth stanzas. In the third stanza, love cheered for a while my morning with his ray, but like a ripple. Ripple means a series of waves, or smile, my youth passed away. Now near beauty I sigh, but fled is the spring. Sing, said God in reply. Chant, poor little thing. Here, the speaker is forced to do hard labor with little monetary success and mourns the loss of her youth and past loves, respectively. Each struggle that the speaker faces ends with the voice of God, calling the speaker to sing about their experiences and create poetry. Instead of mourning for the past, God calling the speaker to sing about the experiences and create poetry. In the last stanza, the speaker turns their attention towards the self, commenting on how, despite the pain and hardship experienced, they feel that the vocation of singing, is just as lofty, sublime as anything else, just as necessary and important in the divine order of things. All men have a task, and to sing is my lot. No meed, no meed. Meed means an earned reward from men I ask, but one kindly thought. My vocation is high. Vocation means a strong inclination to a particular state or course of action or a divine calling. My vocation is high, mid the glasses that drink, still comes that reply. Chant, poor little thing. The speaker even finds a place as a bard or poet at parties among glasses that drink. This quotation from Toru Dutt's translation of Beringer is significant because it demonstrates Dutt's early interest in the question of what constitutes the art of poetry. Here, after recounting constant rejection by society and lack of successes, the speaker of the poem turns to something more positive. Up to this point, the speaker has suggested that she turns to poetry as a means of responding to or crying out against the injustices she has suffered. But in this final stanza, the speaker suggests that she turns to poetry not just as a means of responding to misfortune. Instead, the speaker suggests here that the choice to sing or to write poetry constitutes a divine and sublime calling all its own. The speaker is no longer just a poor little thing because her vocation is high. She who chants in prayer or supplication to the divine, but now also has a vocation that is high, respectable, and plays into the divine order of things. Besides these central ideas that hardship can give rise to beauty, that the poet's task is as vital as any other line of work. The poem explores additional symbolic relationships and uses figurative language to diverse effects. For example, the poet's consistent comparison of the self to birds, an element that is present in Berenger's original, but that chooses to emphasize through the flight in the second stanza, and the clipped wing in the third stanza links the poet's calling and work to the natural world. Further, the poem's use of personification raises interesting questions. For example, why are no people formally named except the figurative personas of wealth, love, life, and beauty, who are afforded the treatment of proper nouns? As in Dutt's other poems, the answer lies in the poet's unique ability to mediate between the realm of nature and the realm of man made, the poet's ability to create beauty where none existed beforehand, and the poet's focus and interrogation of the deeper meaning and concepts such as loss, love, and beauty behind everyday human interactions. So, an article written by Suman Sigaroha from IIT Mandi, that is Death and Despair in the Poetry of Toru Dutt. She talks about the poem My Vocation and says that written in first person, the poem is a mournful song about the limitations the poetess faces. In this poem, loneliness surrounds her and rejection abounds because of her sickness and the resultant ugliness. And the first two lines she says that she is a waif on this earth, sick, ugly, and small. In reply to the poet's mourning and her questions, God repeatedly tells her to sing, chant, poor little thing. So the vivid images drawn is of a little helpless and anguished soul that has no youth or beauty and has nothing to look forward to as well. So she repeatedly questions God. She must finish the heavy task of writing poetry, and that is her only duty, which is both a consolation and reward for the unhappy fate that has been dealt to her. Further in the poem, she feels that love does provide a glimmer of hope for the poor little thing, but it has also fled, leaving her alone and condemned to fulfill her task of writing poetry before death lays claim to her. Toru has chosen words like waif, sick, ugly, etc., which reflects the serious state of her mind. In succeeding stanzas, she builds up this image of loneliness, despair, and at places she laments her pathetic condition. Wealth has besmeared the persona in the poem with dirt. Servants of power have insulted and jeered at her. Life frightens her by its chances and pain, and even though love did come as a ray of hope in the morning, it has now run away, and she is left sighing since she has neither youth nor beauty. She seeks hard for love and comfort, but is unable to find either. Toru builds up the image of a caged bird whose wings have been clipped and who has nowhere to fly to. The only solace for her is her poetry, which is undoubtedly a high vocation, and her only request is that it be given a kindly thought. These lines taken from the article Death and Despair in the Poetry of Toru Dutt, which is written by Suman Sigroha. So we can say about Toru Dutt that there's a befitting tribute was paid to her by Edmund Cause. It is difficult to exaggerate when we try to estimate what we have lost in the premature death of Toru Dutt. She was a great writer. Literature has no honors which need have been beyond the grasp of a girl who at the age of 21 and in the languages separated from her own by so deep a chasm had produced so much of lasting worth. This is all about the writer Toru Dutt and the poem My Vocation, that is composed by Toru Dutt. I hope you like the video. Share, like and subscribe. Thank you.